Hello, namaste. Hare Krishna. So today we're going to be talking about the characteristics of the Pitta dosha, or particular energetic body type. The three main energies which combine in different ways. So one of them is Pitta, which is like the energy for heating and metabolism, fire, like that element in our body. So just one thing came to mind before we start reading about that from a very good Ayurvedic physician named Vasant. We'll be reading about the characteristics of Pitta from his book. But just something came to mind. If you're trying to work out what body type you have, what dosha, and you're doing a dosha quiz on the internet or from a book, just be aware you want to look at the characteristics when you're answering the questions, the characteristics that you've had for your whole life, right from birth throughout your life, not just what you're experiencing now. Because the characteristics from your whole life, that's called your prakriti. That's actually what your dosha is. But what you're currently experiencing might be a deviation from your normal balance, energetic balance, and that's called Vakriti. So we don't want the Vakriti. We want the Prakriti. So look at over your whole life, and just to give you an idea, one lady I met the other day, she just said to me that in the last 6 months she's been very fearful, and she's not normally like that. So that immediately indicated to me, okay, so she's gone off her natural balance because she's not normally fearful. So fearfulness, that's a sign of a Vata individual with a lot of air in the body, like that. So, but she said she's not normally like that for the last 6 months. So she's gone off in the last 6 months her natural balance, like that, into more of a Vata kind of situation, which is not good. And even myself, I've noticed that in the last few years, I get angry quite a bit, which is a sign of Pitta, which is what we're going to be talking about today. About too much Pitta, that's a sign there. And I'm not normally like that, because my body type is like Vata, and that's my Prakriti. So anger is not normally, so much what a Vata individual has to be dealing with. So I've gone a little bit off my balance, and getting off your natural balance is often due to a lot of external influences, like you've been eating the wrong kind of food, or like that, or the season is a difficult season, like that. Like for a Vata, then cold body type, then when it's cold and windy is a difficult time, or when a Pitta body type, when it's a hot summer, is a difficult time. So we get influenced by different things, and even like the work that I do is like really intense, and cutting down trees, and sometimes I have to get rid of pests and stuff like that, and so due to that association with that particular kind of work is sort of influencing my dosha situation, so I have to be aware of that and try to keep that in balance, otherwise it can lead to different physical and mental problems. So look at the long term, and once you know that, if there are any deviations from that in the present, then we want to try to get back to our normal state. Okay, so let's read about the characteristics of the Pitta individual. The Pitta body type is one of medium height and build, though some individuals are slender with a delicate frame. They seldom gain or lose much weight. Their muscle development is moderate, and they are generally stronger physically than Vata types. Pitta eyes are bright and may be grey, green, or copper brown, and their eyeballs are of medium prominence. These individuals tend to have ruddy or coppery skin and may have reddish hair, which tends to be silky. They often experience early greying or hair loss, so that a Pitta man frequently has a receding hairline or a big, beautiful, bald head. So there you go. That's one giveaway symptom of a Pitta man, is that there may be some baldness from an early age. My baldness is due to being a shaven-headed Hare Krishna. But so that's one symptom. All that heat, too much heat in the body is obviously a result of that. Too much heat is that the hair may fall out, become less. So reducing the heat can be beneficial too if you want to keep your hair. Moles and freckles are common on Pitta skin, which tends to be oily, warm, and less wrinkled than Vata skin. Pittas have sharp, slightly yellowish teeth and frequently bleeding gums. The normal body temperature of people with a Pitta constitution is a little higher, and their hands and feet are usually warm and may be sweaty. Pittas may feel quite warm when both Vatas and Kaphas are cold. They perspire quite a lot, even when it's 50 degrees. He's obviously meaning Fahrenheit. While a Vata person will not perspire even at a much higher temperature. Their body perspiration often has a strong sulphury smell. Their feet also perspire and may have a strong smell. So that's the giveaway too of Pitta body type. A lot of perspiration, even if it's not so hot, and the body can get a bit smelly like that. This heat is the main characteristic of Pitta types, which is not surprising, as the word Pitta is derived from the Sanskrit word tapa, which means to heat. The word can also be translated as austerity. The Pitta individuals can be quite austere. They have a low tolerance for hot weather, sunshine, or hard physical work. Although they are a fiery type, their sex drive may not be very strong. Pittas may use sex to release anger, which is obviously not a good idea. Pittas have a strong appetite, strong metabolism, and strong digestion. They consume large quantities of food and drink, and they also produce large quantities of urine and faeces, which tend to be yellowish and soft. When out of balance, they crave hot, spicy dishes, which are not good for them. They should eat food with the sweet, bitter, and astringent taste. So remember, there's 6 tastes altogether, and so these particular 3 out of the 6 are recommended for reducing the Pitta, so that's sweet, bitter, and astringent taste. So that means they should, so those are tastes which are recommended for them. And obviously what's not recommended is the other 3, which would be salty, sour, and pungent, hot. So obviously there's a lot of heat in them, so you don't need more heat. So definitely they shouldn't be eating chilies and black pepper and ginger and stuff, and very less, not really necessary. Any hot spices, mustard seeds, things like that. They should avoid hot things, spices. When hungry, a Pitta person needs to eat soon. Otherwise, he or she will become irritable and hypoglycemic. So it can get very quick appetite and they need to eat, otherwise they may get upset and everything like that. So that's a real giveaway for a Pitta. Do you get a really strong burning appetite and you have to eat immediately? Pitta sleep is of medium duration, but it is uninterrupted and sound. These individuals like to read before they go to sleep and often fall asleep with a book on their chest. Okay. Girls with a Pitta constitution begin menstruating and reach puberty early. They can start menstruation as early as the age of 10. Pitta physical ailments tend to be related to heat and the fire principle. They are prone to fevers, inflammatory diseases, acid indigestion, excessive hunger, jaundice, profuse perspiration, hives and rashes, burning sensations, ulceration, burning eyes, colitis, and sore throats. All itises, there you go, that's the giveaway. All itises, if it ends in itis, are inflammatory disorders and are due to excess pitta. These individuals are susceptible to sunburn and do not like bright light. Pitta type PMS symptoms include tenderness in the breasts, hot flashes, hives, urethritis, and sometimes a burning sensation when passing urine. Pitta individuals are alert and intelligent and have good powers of comprehension and concentration. Their intellects are penetrating and keen, and their memories are sharp. They have good logical, investigating minds. They love to go deeply into problems and find solutions. Their minds are always at work, and they like to solve problems and puzzles of all kinds. They also tend to be good speakers. They are lovers of knowledge and have a great capacity for organization and leadership. Pittas are night people. They become alert around midnight and love to read late at night. Orderliness is important to them. A Pitta person's home or room is always clean and neat. So there's a test. Are you neat and clean? Because Pittas are normally neat and clean people. So that's a bit of a giveaway too. And very intelligent, saying very intelligent, good at organising, good leaders, natural leaders. A lot of fire, a lot of energy to lead, and very courageous. Clothes are kept in a designated place. Shoes are in orderly rows, and books are arranged according to height or another definite system. Pittas love noble professions. They are doctors, engineers, lawyers, judges, very bright, brainy people. They have good administrative abilities and like to be in a leadership role. They are good planners and are ambitious and disciplined, aggressive by nature. They easily take charge of situations. They may become political figures. They have a lot of charisma. People are attracted to them. Pittas are often wise, brilliant people, but they can also have a controlling, dominating personality. Does that sound like you? Controlling, dominating personality? They have a tendency toward comparison, competition, and aggressiveness, and they are meticulous and perfectionistic. Everything has to be done on time and correctly. Pitta individuals never yield an inch from their principles, which sometimes leads to fanaticism. They tend to be critical, especially when Pitta dosha is aggravated. If there is no one to criticize, Pitta people will criticize and judge themselves. A Pitta's lifespan is only moderately long. These individuals burn their life energy through too much mental activity, perfectionism, aggressiveness, and the constant search for success. They have a deep-seated fear of failure. They don't like the words no or fail, and therefore may be highly stressful. They are typical workaholic. Are you a workaholic? Pittas generally seek material prosperity and tend to be moderately well off, though they spend rather than save their money. They like to live in luxurious homes and drive fancy cars. They love perfumes, gems, jewelry, and other costly items, and they enjoy exhibiting their wealth and possessions. A number of factors can increase pitta to the point of aggravation. One is simply eating too much spicy food, including black pepper, cayenne pepper, curry peppers, and jalapeno peppers. Pitta can also be increased by sour and citrus fruits. So there's another one that's not good for pitta, as well as spicy food, but citrus fruits are not good for pitta, and sour fruits, any fruits that are sour, such as grapefruits and sour oranges. Eating rancid yogurt, so don't eat rancid yogurt. That means very old, very sour. So that what he means by rancid yogurt is not necessarily that it's gone all mouldy or something, but he means just very old yogurt. The older the yogurt, the longer it's been sitting in the fridge, it gets more and more sour. So what he's saying is, if they're going to have yogurt, it should be fresh yogurt, not very old yogurt. And then smoking cigarettes and drinking sour wine can also be harmful. So yeah, no sour wine and cigarettes for pitta, which is a good thing, avoiding those bad things. They're not good for us anyway. Working near fire or lying in the sun are causes of increasing pitta. So yeah, pitta person shouldn't just be sunbathing in the sun. It's not good for them. Eating fatty fried food or oily food, such as peanut butter, can increase nausea or headaches for a pitta. Oh wow, there you go. So watch out for the fried food and too much peanut butter. Oh my God, Kiwis love their peanut butter. Summer is the most difficult time for pitta individuals. In hot, humid weather, pitta dosha can easily become aggravated. Heat builds up in the system, and pitta individuals become more susceptible to the heat-related ailments mentioned above. They may become quite irritable and are easily agitated and angered. Tempers flare. Their sharp minds become hypercritical and judgmental. Jealousy and envy may blaze up. They need to cool down. So this is some symptoms. When the pitta gets too much, then these kind of emotions develop in them, temper and critical and jealousy and things like that. So one can avoid that. Like it's finished off saying they need to cool down. So by eating foods that are cooling type of foods, and even like having a shower in cold water, just cool down, mate. Or jump, like I got a stream, right? So if I get too hot-headed, just jump in the stream, cool down. Have a cool yogurt lassi or something like that, just cool down. And avoid being out in the hot sun and things like that, and just, too much intense work and things like that will just heat up the system more. So he gives some general guidelines for balancing pitta. So as he's mentioned, so this is just a summary. Avoid excessive heat, so just don't be out when it's like too much hot weather. So watch out, summertime is especially difficult time for pittas, which can aggravate pitta, and then diseases may develop, due to those external influence of the hot weather. Avoid excessive oil. I'll just ask my wife a question here. Avoid excessive oil, that would mean in your food, excessive oil, or like massaging with oil? Don't put too much oil. Do you know?
I think it's both. Because when you massage to keep warm.
Oh, okay. My wife's saying you massage to keep warm. That's one reason why you massage. So, and they don't need that. They're already so hot. So yeah, having the oil is not good. But it also mentioned fried food is not good, which is like, very oily. So it's probably both, not too much oil for massage. Definitely no heating oils, like definitely Pitta shouldn't massage with mustard oil, which is very heating. If they are going to massage with oil, then it should be some cooling kind of oils, like, oh, that's too expensive, sandalwood oil. But yeah, some kind of look up some cooling oils if a Pitta person's gonna do self massage, then look at some oils that are cooling and put very less oil, not too much. And then, not too much, fried food, which is oily as well. Avoid excessive steam, so no saunas for Pitta. Pitta people should avoid going in a sauna. That's good for Vata. Good for Vata body type is going in a sauna. And limit salt intake. So yeah, salt's not good for them. Salty food, too much salty food. Don't add salt to your meals too much, and then and in the meals, yeah. Eat cooling, non-spicy foods. Drink cool, but not ice drinks. So cool means like room temperature drinks. Don't have too many hot liquids, but just room temperature. But not cold out of the fridge either. Not with your ice blocks and super cold is not good. That's not good for anyone. It's really bad for the digestion to have very cold food like that. But room temperature drinks, just room temperature water and stuff is good, or juices like that. And exercise during the cooler part of the day. So yeah, everyone needs to exercise, but they should pick a time when it's not too hot. Definitely not in the middle of the day in summer or whatever, but early in the morning or in the evening when it's cooled down a bit. That's when it'd be more suitable time for the Pitta to be exercising. Yeah. Pitta. So, I mean, all of these different dosha body types, it's good to have an understanding about, even if it's not all completely relevant to us, like my body type is Vata, but it's still good to have an understanding about the Pitta personality and the Kapha personality, because obviously we're going to have to deal with all different kinds of people, right? You're gonna, like, your partner, your spouse might be a different body type than you, and sometimes that unknowingly maybe cause a lot of disturbance in the relationship. Or your children, obviously going to be different body types also maybe there, or your parents or whatever like that, or your neighbours or friends or whatever, different body types are there. So if you get an understanding, then you say, oh, they're getting angry because it's just part of their nature. They're a Pitta kind of person, or they're got a bit of jealousy or competitiveness. Oh, they're a Pitta kind of person, or they're really high strung, stressful. Okay, they're Vata, or they're really a bit they're a bit lazy or whatever like that. Hard to get them into action. They're just a Kapha kind of nature. So in that way, we don't have to sort of blame anyone for being different than us or whatever. These are natural. Just natural characteristics of particular persons, different body types are there. So it can help us be a bit more compassionate and not so, judgmental and everything about other people. And, and it's wrong to expect that we're all going to be the same. It's not going to be that we're all going to become Vatas or all going to become Pittas or whatever like that. These differences are there for life. If you're born with a particular nature of a Vata or a Kapha or a Pitta, that's going to be with you for your whole life. So, we can't really change that too much ourselves, and we can't change others either. So just if we have this knowledge, it can bring about more acceptance in ourselves and in others. If you're a bit of a chubby person, that's just maybe what your karma, your destiny is to be a bit of a chubby person, and don't try to fight to become, super slim, Miss Universe or whatever like that. or if you're like me, I'm very thin, and I can eat and eat and eat, and I'm never going to be anything other than thin. So if I want to be chubby, just forget about it. It's not going to happen like that. So just accepting about, our nature, who we are. And in the Vedas, anyway, it's understood that we're not the body, that ultimately we're not kapha, we're not pitta, we're not, vata. We're a spirit soul. We're an eternal soul. So ultimately, it doesn't really matter. This is just, like I said, this is just a machine, a yantra. This body is a machine. So this is our car, and we're the driver. So don't forget that. Don't think you're the car. Ultimately, we're not, a kapha or a pitta or a vata. These are our bodily designations. So, like I said, we need to know how to operate the car, what fuel to put in the car, put oil and water in the car and everything, maintain the car. So that's what we're teaching about, how to maintain the car of the vehicle of this body. But yeah, we don't have to get too absorbed in it and think we are the body. That's in Sanskrit it's called maya. That's illusion, to misidentify oneself with the body. So self-realization, it means to understand that we're the eternal soul within the body, temporarily, like that. And that way we can although we can use the body and everything, but not become too attached. And then we can avoid a lot of these negative aspects that can come about due to too much attachment to the body or other people's bodies, like that, and too controlling and so forth, like that. So those are just some things that came to my mind. So Chase is saying, what meals, recipes are suitable to share between all body types, doshas? Okay. So what meals, recipes for all body types? There are some ingredients that can be eaten by everyone. One particular combination is called khichdi, which is basically a rice and legume soupy kind of dish with whatever seasonal vegetables are available can be put in there and cooked there. So it's a one-pot meal. You cook the rice and the legumes together and you put the veggies in, and then you add some spices for digestion and that. And it's called khichdi. And that's called a tri-doshic meal. Tri means three. So for all three doshas, that's a meal for everyone. So that's like medicine, for whatever you are. Okay, you already enjoy khichdi? Well, you just stick to that. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. And there's some people, like in villages in India and stuff, that's like all they eat. They have that for breakfast, lunch and dinner, like that every day, and they live to be, 99 years old or whatever like that, live a really good life. It's real easy to digest. It's like baby food. And it's agreeable to whatever body type you have, like that. So, but yeah, there's not many things that are suitable for everyone, but that's just one that comes to my mind. If there are more, that it doesn't matter what body type, you can eat it. I'll put that in there. But yeah, khichdi is a really good one. You can look up some recipes for khichdi and do that. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all that comes to mind right now. So I hope that you're finding this knowledge of some use, some benefit. And we hope this meets you in good health. Okay, take care.